Hey, Kingdom family. Today, for our love series, we will be speaking about a love that respects your no. All right, Kings and Queens, I love this conversation with the love series today because you will find that in real love, you really don't say no often. I want you to understand that when God ordains your relationship and you find that partner that God sent you, no is spoken very minimal, okay, in your relationship. The scripture we'll be reading today is coming out of Matthew 5 and 37. It says, let your yes be your yes and your no be your no. All right. No is very powerful, okay? No, it has to do with respect, all right? Because you're in real love will respect your boundaries off top, all right? So if you say no, that means it's just a no. You don't have to try to explain why you said no, anything. You don't have to try to persuade anyone. You don't feel any pressure. You don't feel any guilt. You don't feel any manipulation. It's just no. All right. Some people, though, that don't love you, they want you to try to explain why you told them no, all right? Because they want some complete control over you. So what they'll do is they'll try to push the narrative. They'll try to convince you to change your mind. They'll try to negotiate after you set firm boundaries that you said no. They'll try to actually negotiate you changing your mind as well. And that is not love, kings and queens. That's actually pressure. And any type of pressure that someone puts on you is not love, all right? Anybody that actually loves you, they will never try to pressure you into something you do not want to do. I just want you to understand that. Even God himself gives us free will. So why would you be with somebody that doesn't give you free will to actually decide on what you're trying to do, all right? Anytime you're in a relationship, you need to compare yourself to the relationship that you have with God and see if your relationship is in alignment with what God has for you as well. So if someone that loves you, why would they ever ask you to compromise your no after you've said no? The reason why we even say no in the first place is because we are set in stone on something that we are not trying to do. All right. So if you run into somebody in your relationship after you said no and they want to challenge you on your no, that right there will tell you that they don't love you. All right, kings and queens, this is real. Because real love will honor your consent of no. All right. This means you have emotionally thought about it, you have spiritually thought about it, and you have physically thought about how it would make you feel, and your answer is no. And the right person that you are in love with will never make you feel bad about protecting your no or your peace, all right? If they try to manipulate it, they'll say stuff like, oh, you're too sensitive. You didn't even think about it. You didn't even hear me out. And they'll try to manipulate. That's how you know. It's like, at the end of the day, I said no, and that's what it is. All right, you're going to have to accept that or not. But at the end of the day, it's still going to be a no. That's the way that actually needs to look. And if you have to start to feel combative or you feel like you need to defend yourself after you said no, then that's probably not the person that you should be with. All right, because people, when you say no, that you are supposed, that are divinely sent to you, that you're supposed to be with, they will be like, all right, baby, I understand completely why you said no, and I support you in your no, all right? There's not going to be any type of arguments. It's not going to be any disputes. They're not going to try to override your no. They're not going to step on your toes. They're just going to respect it from their heart, and they're going to respect your heart, all right? 9 times out of 10, the person that you're with that God sent you, they're going to be saying no with you as well. They're going to understand you to the point where they're like, it's no for the both of us type stuff, you know? And so that's why you want to choose the right person that's going to respect you in all aspects, because, you know, people look at the word no as a negative word, but they don't actually equate no to I'm trying to protect my peace in this situation, all right? Only mature people understand that the no means I'm protecting myself from a situation, all right? and I'm important, so it's okay for me to protect myself. That's what people don't understand about the word no. They always look at it as it's a negative word, but it's not always negative. Sometimes it's about making sure that you're important, making sure you're setting boundaries, and making sure you're setting standards for yourself that will not be compromised by all means necessary, all right? And so God actually supports that no, all right? That's why he said in the scripture, let your yes be your yes and your no be your no, and let it be done. You don't have to explain anything, all right? Anybody that cannot respect that about you, respect the maturity that you have for yourself, don't need to be around you in the first place, kings and queens, and that's what's real. All right? And so you want to think about that when you're telling people no, how they're actually responding to your no. That'll tell you a lot about a whole bunch of people in your life. I love you so much. I'll talk to you soon.